Hi, my name is Armin, and this is my Chicago Crime Database Analyzer. So for this project, I use Palantir Foundry and AIP. Reason for that is because it has a strong ability to take in unfiltered, messy, fragmented data and be able to transform it into data that is much more clean, a much more cleaner data set. And this cleaner data set provides a much more clearer insight into what you're looking at. And not only that, but also you're able to look for patterns much more easier. So the problem instance that I used for this project was that these police departments and these criminal investigation units, they're dealing with a lot of data. And especially when you're dealing with a list of crimes in a big city, you have a lot of information to deal with, and it can often be very noisy trying to understand and look for patterns. So my goal with this project was to try to create a user interface that not only helps you visualize all the crimes in the city, but also try to filter out and also look for patterns with the crime data set that we have. So this is my UI over here, and we can see that the map of Chicago is mapped here, and we have all these different communities here, and each community is highlighted in green, and obviously if you hover over them you can see the name. So for example, over here we see Garfield Ridge and Clearing. Reason for this is because often when police departments want to refer to the location of a crime, they often like to refer to the community name. Not only that, but when our analyzer over here is looking for patterns, it will look through different community names and the types of crimes that are committed in that community. So these little pink dots that we see on the map all refer to a specific crime instance. So right now we have the filters arson and a yes to an arrest that's been made, and that's what we see on the map over here. But let's say if I'm trying to look for non-criminal and no arrest, so we can see that one instance over there. So now, why is this important? Because it helps you visualize all the crimes or specific crimes within the city. And as an investigator, it can often be very useful to see where these crimes are being committed and if there's a certain pattern that we're seeing. Not only that, but we also have a LLM crime analyzer down here. Now what this does is it's just a LLM, but I fed it with objects, and these objects are essentially just the raw data, but they've been transformed and cleaned. And so when you ask the LLM a question or try to ask it to look for certain patterns, what it'll do is it'll use these objects to query through, kind of look for any information and analyze whatever it can, and then it provides you the output. So over here, I've already asked a question. The question I asked was, are there any unusual crimes or events that you can spot and point out as outliers, and should they be investigated? And this is the output that it gave me. So over here, it gave us two examples of two crimes that have been committed, and they seem kind of unusual, and it gives you the reasoning over here as well. And there's also a bunch of other cases as well. So overall, the impact this will have is it'll provide for faster investigations, smarter policing, safer communities, as well as a better allocation of resources. Thank you.